בחירות בישראל, ינואר 2013. In this video, you will see how many delegates the right, left, center, religious, and Arab blocs can count on in this election, as the polls predict in December 2012, and how it corresponds to the Torah codes. In addition, you will find terms for many of the parties and individuals leading them. Let us first look at the introduction presented by the matrix. The matrix starts and ends in Genesis as indicated below. There are two ways to look at the first term. One possibility is as outlined below. There is a hearing in Israel, the nation of the Master of the Universe, to see who are the winners and losers. The hearing, of course, is done by counting the ballots. A second possibility is that the Master of the Universe is stating Israel and the hearing of the nation. The Master of the Universe is observing our actions, motivations, and decision-making. However, the two meanings of the term indicate that the will of the people is not only the count of the ballots. The motivations of the voters count to the Master of the Universe. After all, Israel is the nation of the Master of the Universe. The matrix now establishes the date of the hearing or election. First, we shall look at the day of the Hebrew month and the month. The vertical term states only on the 11th of Shvat, which happens to be this year on January 22nd. The green term has the year term. Year 2013. How shall I make fun of the Master of the Universe? At this point, the second meaning of the first term becomes a little clearer. The first term is all about the people electing their leaders. However, these are the people of a jealous Master of the Universe. The Master of the Universe is observing, and the matrix suggests that the elections may make a mockery of the Master of the Universe. The voting term states he voted nothingness for him. What does it mean? Does it mean that the voter voted for nothing? For the wrong leader? For the wrong cause? Or the next term explains the Master of the Universe's view of the elections. The question is, why did we make our specific vote? The question and answer are in one term. Perhaps there is a hint to the verse below. The term states, so with you being my minister, is it tiredness from the Master of the Universe? We shall be ashamed. We will ask ourselves, why did we vote for and be ashamed? Or are we going to be ashamed of the person or party that we made during the election, or that we believed in? This second version of the term states, like this, in you a minister of darkness, a sign from the Master of the Universe that we shall be ashamed. Perhaps for choosing another king over us. The Torah must be our source of light for the nation of the Master of the Universe. As the very first term we've seen in the matrix states, Israel, the nation of the Master of the Universe. If we can refer once more to the voted term, it will all fall in place. And for whom did Israel vote? Many an individual voted for nothingness, and the result, a coloring of woe for oneself. We will now look at the polls versus the Torah codes, however, not from a fortune-telling point of view. In all my elections Torah codes, the purpose was not to show the future, but rather provide moral messages. The true background information is only to confirm that the messages are also correct. The matrix will now give us information about key blocks that are competing in the election. We will start with the right. Next, we will look at the center. We will follow with the left, and so on. The terms in this table give us an indication of the number of seats that the right bloc is expected to receive as the polls indicate. The first term indicates that the right bloc will be on top. It states, "Go up, right." The skip R value and location in the matrix are also indicated. The next term, which is the most statistically significant in the table, indicates that the right will be raised to 50 seats or 55 seats, depending on how we split the letters in the term. However, the balance of the terms support 50 seats. In section 1 of the right block, we look at the number of total seats. In section 2, we have the media information about the parties and their leaders. In section 3, we are looking at the number of seats that the matrix indicates for individual leader or a given party. For example, Netanyahu, as the leader of the right, will get 55 seats, while the portion of Israel Beiteinu seats is 16 out of those 55 seats. In section 4, you can follow the logic how the combined right parties should get between 50 and 55 seats. It is really not important if the party Otzma gets any seats. It was stated as suitable party, but the matrix can also be read that it will receive 10 or 11 seats. Since the polls do not project such a high number for Otzma, it is assumed that it appears in the matrix just to show that it is a proper party. It is difficult in Israeli politics at times to decide if the party is center or left. What is easier to understand is that by any name, they will act as one block if in a ruling or an opposition position. The most significant term clearly suggests 30 seats for the center. Two terms can be read as 30 seats, but the two terms can also be read as 6 seats. Perhaps we do not really know what is the real political agenda of any of the parties that define themselves as either left or center. The Tenuah party, headed by Tzipi Livni, entered the election race at a later date during the campaign. There are two strong terms that indicate that Kadima is dead or died. The matrix also shows that the newcomer to the race, Lapid, and his new party have 12 seats. Finally, the Tenuah has 8 to 10 seats. The polls and the Torah codes suggest that the party of Kadima is dead. The new party, Tenuah, will receive a major portion of those seats. The left block terms indicate that the left is not what it used to be. The terms indicate 10 to 11 seats. The two major parties and their leaders are shown below. The terms suggest that the Labor will reduce its power to 10. The number 11 and 16 are also a possibility. However, woe seems a more likely interpretation of the letters Vav, Yud than 16. Meretz is shown as receiving 3 seats. The question of which party is left, center, or is the party Hadash an Arab or a center party is not really clear. In the final analysis, however, the 3 blocks will act as one after the elections are over. What appears, however, is that Ehud Barak will not be elected in this election. At the introduction to the election matrix, moral issues were raised as to where we place our trust, how we vote, why we vote for the party, person that we vote, etc. Some serious moral issues are now raised again. The matrix advises us that the religious are from the Bible of the Master of the Universe. It is a reminder of who they are, or at least what they should be. It may be a warning to them or those that are against them. Amazingly, the last long complex term is followed by another such term with a similar message. Religious, authority of the Master of the Universe. In the context of the subject at hand, the term religious is in plural in Hebrew. It refers to the people or parties. The religious people and parties should be governed by the authority of the Master of the Universe. This is a reminder to those who claim to be religious and to those who do not. We must recognize the ultimate authority. If not for that authority, we would not be voting in Israel, in our promised land. The first and last line described our connection to the Master of the Universe since biblical times. However, the first line can be read also that the religious parties will receive 20 seats. In the second line, it is stated that about 20 seats will be for the religious parties. The third line, which contains the same letters as the first 2 lines, states that 20 seats are given by the Master of the Universe to the religious parties. We saw above the term about 20. This term states 18. The range is 18 to about 20. However, 18, which is also the numerology of the letters Yud plus Chet, also spells life. This is another message that our religion is our spiritual life. A new party that joined the race was founded by an old member of the religious party Shas. It is not defined now as a religious party. It did come up with polls suggesting that it will pick up 2 seats. Perhaps this is the difference between 18 and 20 as shown before. Derry, who just rejoined the Shas party in a senior role, wanted very much to join the party now in a leading capacity. Here there is an indication that Shas will get 10 seats, or the term wish in numerology can add up to 12. Both 10 and 12 are the range of the forecast for the seats for the Shas party. Collectively, the Arab bloc appears to have 9 seats. Note that a party such as Am Shalem may enter the scene where it does not associate itself with any bloc. If this does not happen, the table indicates the least, most, and probable seats each bloc is viewed as having on their side. However, it appears that the traditional blocs of the right and religious parties have a minimum of 68 seats. On the other hand, the traditional blocs of center, left, and Arabs has a maximum of 50 seats. If we add 2 seats from a non-aligned party to the opposition, we get a balance of 68 to 52 seats. ועכשיו השוואה בין הסקרים לבין דילוגי האותיות, איך שפורסמו לפני בחירות מרץ 28, 2006. המאמרים שנמצאים באינטרנט מלפני הבחירות ואחרי הבחירות יופיעו מיד, וגם יראו איך להגיע אליהם באינטרנט. In a long article dealing with various topics were also the Israeli elections of the 28th March 2006 a subtopic. In a second article after the election, a comparison was made between the first article and the actual results. Many parties received the exact number of seats or were off by one seat as outlined by the metrics and shown in this table. The red arrows indicate, as the metrics outlined, a major reduction in seats for two parties, while the green arrows show almost the exact seats in the final results as the matrix. In the article we see a detailed analysis of the results we just saw. While as the green term at the bottom indicates 56 in the center, we can see that the center block got 56 seats together. And here I must confess my mistake. When I first produced my analysis, I thought that Kadima will get 40 seats, since the letter Mem stands for 40. However, the decoder was wrong, and the master of the universe had the metrics correct. The term should have been decoded. Desolation will petrify them. Go away from Kadima. This is a much longer complex term and therefore carries more weight and statistical significance. I should have had it perfect. I only had it right as an overall picture. However, I am only flesh and blood and not a prophet.